my water. Never
Did
sent
you
a
ever
kid.
hear that song, My Lip Gloss is Poppin'?
Oh, it is. Yeah, I like that one.
No,
All
did you
right.
ever hear that? My lip gloss is poppin'. My lip
Oh, I always tell people
Oh,
that lip gloss is popping. Hey, we're live. We can't get too crazy here.
okay, that's true. That's true.
All right. So, how have you been this week? I know you've had some. I know you're doing some training. I know you've had some emotionally rough news. You want to share how that's been? I mean, it's funny. We're human, guys, and
Yeah,
welcome to Here Through the Grapevine. And not all weeks are like super popping, great, wonderful. Sometimes we lose people. Sometimes, yeah. So, how have you been handling? You look beautiful. I know that we have to stay strong. We have to stay healthy.
absolutely. That is the mindset that I'm in right now. It's a tough week, but I have to stay in that mindset. If I don't, then it'll be a harder week to get through. So, I'm choosing to really kind of have that mindset of just smiling even when it hurts to smile, if that makes
Mm.
sense.
Well, you
Um,
do know there's a physiological thing that happens when you smile that actually the muscle pulls up and, positive endorphins are released, even if you fake a smile. So
yep.
when they say, well, don't smile if you're going to fake it, honestly, that does kind of help in a
Yeah.
bad
And,
moment.
I
Yeah.
actually learned that when I was introduced to laughter yoga. Believe it or not, I don't think you know this, but when I was in junior college, I was in a laughing club.
That's how you got that wonderful laugh, right?
And it was amazing. It was fun. It was, a workout. You get out of that class feeling like you just ran a mile or two in
Yeah.
sprints.
Wow, that's very cool. Well, I also hear that laughing really does burn calories. Hysterical
It does.
laughing, it's a core exercise, all that stuff. It's really neat. Well, listen,
Yeah.
I think that's an
I like to
interesting
share a little
place.
bit about that in a future podcast, a little bit of that laughter yoga. But I'm excited for tonight. We have some great guests.
I know. Well, that's a good idea. We should have a mindset. We should have a mindset podcast. And I've got about 4 or 5 amazing people that we can bring on. They can talk about humor, can talk about positivity.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I might bump the idea I had for next week and invite this amazing woman that I know out of Orlando who's about positivity and health. But let's start with something. We have some amazing guests, and I met them, wow, months ago now, at a meeting that IQMK had and you were there, Vivi, in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but before I introduce them, I really want to take a moment to look at IQMK's logo again. We talk about all kinds of health conditions. By the way, guys, we have a YouTube channel. We only have 2 subscribers, so we would love to have you on that channel and just subscribe. It's Global Muscadine. No, Muscadine Global. I'm sorry, Muscadine Global on YouTube. We have the past month and a half of podcasts up. Actually, we had a request to put the podcast up about lupus and autoimmune diseases. So people are going there and people are sending people there. So if you have somebody in your life that's fighting lupus or has type 2 diabetes, they can go and listen to some of our subject area podcasts. So we do love some of the clinical research we can share and some of the clinicians we can have on. But we also like to talk about quality of living and quality of life on this podcast, and to find ways to inspire people to get through tough times, tough weeks, financial, emotional, natural disasters, everything that can
Yeah.
happen to us as human beings.
Mm-hmm.
And we have something right here as our company, and many of you that are listening aren't necessarily a part of our company, but I wanted to explain. I call them the 3 balls, but they're grapes, they're circles,
Mm-hmm.
and they're kind of like that whole Olympic championship of unity. And there are 3 different colors, and I'll let me test Vivi on the colors. and why we have blue, green, and purple. Do you know what blue stands for, Viv?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is a really important part of our podcast tonight.
Yes.
The blue stands
Remember, I'm zoomed out though. I've been on Zoom all day since 7 a.m. I know the green is money.
yeah, okay, good. So the first is the blue, and the blue stands for health.
Yes.
In almost every culture, it's a vibrancy, it's a wellness, it's health. And green stands for money, for resources, for the energy it takes to live your life in stability, in security. Those are really important feelings. And the purple, in every culture around the world,
Yeah.
represents wisdom
Yep.
and royalty. And
Yeah.
so when you have your health and you have resources that make you feel peaceful, like you can pay your bills and you know that everything is going to be all right financially, you have that wisdom, you have that royalty, you have that power. And so those are the colors and the significance of the way that logo is set up. But lots of people, 2 people today asked me what IQMK stands for. So this is going to be cool. Let's bring up our guests live from Vegas. And they're married and they're wonderful. And like I said, I met them in Dallas. And the very first thing we're going to do.
Houston. We were in Houston.
Houston, I'm sorry, Houston, another big Texas city. And they really made an impression on me as people who started out especially Joe, rolling his eyes about some kind of capsule to take, and just being regular Americans in Vegas, of all places. They remind me of very good heartland American people. And I'm going to test them, Jeanne and Joe Tasso, when they come on, about what IQMK means, because they've been involved longer than either one of us, Viv. So can you bring them up?
Yeah, let's get Joe and Jeanne on here.
Hey, greetings, guys.
Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome, IQMK Grapevine family. Welcome. I want to welcome everybody here. It's fantastic. The first thing I want to say before we get anything over is I want to thank you guys for inviting us tonight. We were very excited about this. We watch your podcast every week.
Thank you.
We sure do. We make sure that our team knows about you. It's all about building and working together. And that's what IQMK is all about. IQMK, the Muscadine family, to start off right away, I always call it a family. And I know we started that in Houston. I started calling it a family, and other people did. We did the grapevine thing, and I have my grapevine family. And why I call it a family, I know we're eye partners, but we're a family. Because any one of you guys could call me or I could call you, and you're going to help us. And that's what this podcast are. These podcasts, you guys have been doing great. We do Zoom calls every Tuesday night. That's what they're about. There's Annette does one on Thursdays. That's what it's all about. It's all about getting out in the community and showing people what it is. And that's why I want to start this, because you started with the colors, and that's great. And I know you want to test us for the IQMK.
Yeah, I do.
This is how we're going to do it. Are you ready?
Yes.
You're ready.
I got the integrity.
I got the quality.
I got the mindset.
And we all have the knowledge.
You got it.
Oh, that's so much fun. You guys are great. I do want to stop for a second because I didn't care. I didn't ask for the longest time. I thought it was something like IQ marketing. I mean, I come from a marketing background, so I just went with it. But, you know, it always, when I start like thinking about what this product has brought to my life, and then what this opportunity brought to my life, I think about my 34 years in healthcare, whether I was a VP at a hospital or whether I was consulting with a network of hospitals on how to bring women through the doors and trusting the facility. My core drive was always to make healthcare easier for people, because the way it is now just makes you feel like it's insurmountable difficulties, way too expensive, and most importantly, it just makes you feel guilty. Oh, I don't want to go to the doctors. I think I gained 5 pounds. I don't want them to test my cholesterol. I think I had too much sugar, before I went to the endocrinologist. So it's all about these kind of punitive microaggressions, really, in healthcare. And so, I tried all my career to change that. And, all my career, I thought that things like nutritional supplements and, multi-level marketing was all kind of not, it was all kind of hype, and that there wasn't real value to it, that real value was what the hospitals did or what a doctor prescribed or did. And that's because that's how I lived, right? That's how I made all my resources. And then meeting Kino again and going on a supplement, right? And then having truly, I am miraculous. I really feel that way when I think I just was describing to someone again who knew me when I was using 2 canes on some days to walk, how 3 weeks later, I haven't had pain since then, like 8+ months ago. And that's miraculous, guys. And but it's not, it's dietary. I was talking to one of our doctors who will be at our annual meeting talking about the power of antioxidants to transform your health. And she was like, yeah, most Americans are really surprised that there are pills that can solve a lot of problems, because we're all saying there's no problem that can be solved by one pill. You got to take many. So I want to say, first of all, that when then I was exposed to this company, and I pretty much also in Houston, I came as a believer in the product, but still kind of rolling my eyes up about the whole, MLK thing, MLM thing, and, having pyramids. And I've heard that everybody gets ripped off, and, and I came, and it's taken me probably 4 or 5 months after that meeting to say, yes, I have a downline, but what I'm doing is sharing real testimony how my life, including diabetes, went from 12.8 to 6.2 in 8 months, how my life has changed. And I want to share that with as many people as possible. And the time that it takes me to share and give, I want to make an income around. So I have embraced this as residual incomes, and especially since we're brand new, hopefully for years and years to come. And also, I'm doing what I've always dreamed possible. I'm building a community. That's my downline. That's the technical term. But I'm building a community of real friends, like real friends and family. ViVi was always a close friend, but now, like, I'm accountable to her. I want to see her really not only be healthy and be able to help others, but I want to see her be able to take her kids on a Disney cruise and it not hurt her wallet at all. It's like you want the best for your friends. And this particular atmosphere that Mike Ascari has created, that has integrity at its core, followed by quality of product. If someone else asks me, hey, I can get muscadine for $30 a bottle, or God forbid, $10 a bottle. I said, yeah, and I can get a car for $15,000, or I can get a really nice performance car with safety measures for $40,000. I'm not even talking about the luxury cars. I'm talking about the basic cars. I said, that's the difference. Quality costs, and there's no way that you can skimp on quality. And then, of course, the mindset. The mindset is what I learn every day as I'm working with, I'm very fortunate, as you are, Joe and Jeanne, to be in that inner circle of leadership in the company. And it's every day, Mike will call and not say, hey, how are things going with, my business and your business? He'll call and say, really, how are things? Like, how are you? I know you faced that car accident that someone had with your car. How is it feeling to you? And it's like, it's real concern. And I have learned to take time. And I have realized that so many jobs I've had have not allowed me to be a human being. And working with muscadine and working with MusNatural has returned a whole lot of humanity to my career. So I want to get that out there right away, because watching you guys, like World Wrestling Federation champions, really, got all that Vegas energy and passion. It just makes me proud that, that you're a part of my family that I met in Houston and will see again in Orlando. January 13th through 15th. I hope everyone's registered. But I'm proud to be here. And and you know, ViVi, I don't know how much of the backstory you have on Jeanne and Joe, but I think, Jeanne, you were the first one to bring muscadine to your home, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
talk
we both
about it,
were,
because
but
I
I
know
was the
Joe's
one
a
that
cynic.
took it.
Yeah, Jeannie, let us know. Well, first of all, I want to just close out with what we were talking about, our core values, which is mindset. And before we came on live, you know, you were sharing how after leaving the Houston event, in the plane, you created and crafted this plan. But we want to hear first, you know, how muscadine came into your life, and then what are you doing currently to really build these values into the community in Vegas that you are supporting and growing. So let us know.
Okay, I'm going to start because actually what happened, guys, is you never know who you're going to talk to. That's what I'm going to tell you. You never know who you're going to talk to. Always present yourself the right way. I was coming out of Walmart. I was in a bad mood. I was. And all of a sudden I saw this guy come up to me and he had a clipboard. And it was just around the time that they were doing the voter registration. And I said, oh no. And it happened to be Juan. And Juan came over and said, hey, Joe, I want to show you something. Well, he said, hey, sir, I want to show you. And I was going, I already voted. That's the first thing I said to him. And you know what? I connected with him right away, just the way he was talking to me. And he invited me for a cup of coffee back at the office. Well, I had nothing to do that afternoon, so I came for the cup of coffee. I heard it was MLM and all that. And I was just like Tanya. I've been in these before, and I said I didn't want to do anything like that. Well, I went home that night and I told Jeannie. And I said, you know, I just want to go and see what it's like Friday night. They invited me up to the suite. We're going to go up there and see what it's like. So we went up there and I met Juan and Sylvia, and well, I knew Juan. I met Lynette. I met Charles. I met a bunch of people up there, Myra. And we just sat around and talked. Then they invited us to the Saturday, and we went in that Saturday. And I went in with a head like, well, this is good, but we're not going to do that good. Well, they had a Spanish session, so we couldn't do it. So they put us into the training. They didn't push us out. They didn't say nothing. They put us into the training part. Now, I was talking to Mike this weekend, and I said, the only reason why you put me into the training part, because you put voodoo on me and said, you're going to be in this. And I laugh about it, but it really worked that way because we went into the training part, and then Jeannie just couldn't get out of a chair. Her legs were so bad. Her sciatica was so bad. Her knees, everything. She was getting ready for a walk. She couldn't get out of the chair. And we had to actually help her out. And then Mike and Juan came over and gave us some of the product. And I still wasn't sure about it. Then Jeannie started taking it that night. And now I'm going to let Jeannie finish that part.
One of the things that impressed me was that they let us leave with product without even knowing how to get a hold of us. So I thought that if they gave us all of this product and had that much faith in it, I was really going to do exactly what Juan told me and take it. And in 3 days, I was able to move without excruciating pain. The pain was bad in the bottom of my feet where I couldn't even put weight on it, but a little at a time. And then the sciatica was so bad that it would take me a while to stop even limping once I was on my feet. So I started taking exactly as Juan told me. And within, like I said, days, I was doing really, really well. I think it was the following week or maybe the following 2 weekends later, everyone came back into Las Vegas and they were doing a Super Saturday. And Mike was there. And Mike saw what condition I was in at the launch. And when he saw me the next time and saw how easily I moved around, it was like he was so amazed and so happy for me. And it's just, I was so impressed with this, that the way it worked, the way it continues to work for me, that I would never want to be without it. Never. And this is the story that I share with everyone.
And I want to just stop you because, you know, I share the whole lumbar situation. not sciatica as much as a disc that had totally slipped in to the spinal column. So it was inflamed and pressing, and I can still recall that pain and still feel the kind of remnants, right? The cellular memory of every move you made, every time you lifted something up, there's this shooting pain. I unfortunately didn't get better as quickly as you did. I can say that it was probably a good week before I felt that there was some loosening, but I didn't believe it. I still didn't believe it. And it was 21 days. I remember because I kept how many days I was taking it and trying to keep a little sense of what was happening. But it was 21 days exactly that I actually got to the bathroom without knowing how I did, right? Because usually when you have that kind of pain, every movement, even making a cup of tea, is something you remember. And when
Oh, yes.
when you can do it kind of on automatic, it's like, oh my gosh. And I just had a little hint of that when I had traveled to West Africa. Welcome, our Ghana family in the house. But when I traveled to West Africa, I like Mike taught me to do. You give away product. You give it from your heart. You don't think about this as a business. You know that this has helped you. I won't let somebody in my family, in my community, I won't let them become an eye partner unless they have had some kind of experience that is positive and transformational with the product. Because if not, we just become, hucksters, right? As my dad used to call it. And so everybody who's in my downline have seen, regression of lupus, have seen prostate issues disappear, have seen cancer kind of, that was supposed to be aggressive, not be aggressive. And this is all within 6 months or so. Diabetes, pain. So it's really that passion that I think you're talking about, Jeannie. People that say, hey, and I did that in Ghana. Here's my last 4 bottles, And so I was without it for almost 6 days. And on the flight back, I was swollen and I had sciatica in my seat. It was horrible. And I realized that I needed to get home, and I did what I know to do. And I basically downed a bottle of extract in 3 days. And I think on the 4th to 5th day, I was fully recovered. And so I'm back to my dose and to staying consistent, and I will not leave without 10 bottles in my pocket. All right, so let's go back. Jeannie, I want to get you guys on the full screen again. So I'm going to leave you with some more questions. So you had this experience, but the one thing I like about Joe is he reminds me of my Italian family, which is like, this is just another ripoff. This is just, don't do it. Don't spend your money. Joe, talk a little bit about your actual experience with muscadine grape seed and skin extract in your own life.
Well, what it is with me is I saw what it did for Jeannie. I really did. And I saw little things that were happening too. Not just her walking. All of a sudden, her blood pressure was better. She was on a sleep machine at night. She wasn't doing the snoring anymore. She wasn't doing this. And I really saw that. And I was more intense on her than anything else. And I have to be honest, at first, I wasn't taking it because it was just, I was worried about her, and I saw what it did for her. And then I said, well, I can use some more energy. I'm going to do this. Well, in the meanwhile, I developed what do you call that?
Cataracts.
Cataract. I'm sorry, guys. A cataract in my eye. And all of a sudden, bang. One morning I woke up, I was blind in my eye, in my left eye, blind. Well, I went to the doctor, did what I had to do. They told me I had to stay still. I had to do this. I had to do that. I had to go in for surgery. I went in. They did a regular surgery on me, and they did some stuff to my eye to try and get it out. And it worked a little bit. They got a little bit out. And then all of a sudden, bing, bang, boom, COVID started. Well, once COVID started, I couldn't go back to the doctors. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that. So the cataract grew, and it got so hard, they claimed it was like a nickel. And now I was blind again. I could not see out of that eye. When I finally went back to the doctor, I couldn't go to my doctor because I had to switch, because I was on Medicare. I had to switch things after COVID and all this. That's a whole big story. but I had to switch it and get another doctor. So I got into another doctor. They said, we're going to change the lens. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. But the blood is not flowing right. And they said to me, Joe, we can get your eye back to about 45%. And I looked at the doctor and I said, I don't care if I have to wear glasses that are big as Coke bottles. I've been wearing glasses since I'm 10 years old. I want some eyesight back in that eye. Because all in the back of my mind was, if something happens to my other eye, I'm blind. So what I did was, I didn't listen to the doctor a whole bunch. Yeah, they performed the surgery, they put the new lens in, and they put the tape on. But this kid started downing muscadine. And I'm talking, and I'm just going to tell you, 12 to 18 to 20 a day. This is what I was doing.
And the extract on top.
And then I was taking the extract on top of that. I went crazy. Okay? Well, I'm sitting in the doctor's office and he takes the patch off. And I got to do it this way. He took the patch off. When he took the patch off, the door was open. And I looked up and I said, I'm not going to say the word. He said, I'll just say, oh my goodness. I can see the exit sign. And it was all the way down the end of the hall. And he said, how can you see that exit sign? I said, I see the exit sign. And then they checked my eyes and everything. He says, oh my God, the blood flow is right. How did the blood flow go? And I told him. And of course, a lot of doctors don't believe it, but this guy did. And he researched it. He talked to me about it. And he says, wow, the only thing I can say is that had to help you. But in the income of it, I didn't notice things. And that's going to be a lot of things with muscadine, guys. You don't notice things. Like with Jeannie, she noticed her knees, her this, her that, but then her blood pressure, her cholesterol went down. Her energy got more. My energy got more. But what I didn't notice was I can see better out of my other eye. And I didn't realize that. Well, guess what? On my driver's license, I don't wear glasses anymore. I've been wearing them since I'm 10 years old, and I don't wear glasses. And everybody can tell me whatever they want to tell me, but I know what it was. It was me taking the muscadine. Now, did I go back down to my normal? Yes, I did. On my normal intake, yes. I take personally 6 a day because it makes me feel good. That's why I take 6 a day, and that's what I like. A lot of times, sometimes I'll take 3, and I'll take extract. That's just when I'm feeling sluggish or I know I need more energy. Okay? And I'm going to tell you straight up. I'm 66 years old, and I don't feel that way. I feel great, but it did that for my eyes. And that's what I tell other people. Now, me by saying that, Tanya, other people, Juan, Lynette, even Mike, realized that they were seeing better. Juan said, wait a minute. He went in for his eye doctor and they changed his prescription. So a lot of things people don't realize. A lot of people don't realize things with this product. And that's what brought me into it. Once I did that, and I sort of did for Jeannie, we went full hog. And my compassion for this company is more than I can say, and Jean's, but my compassion bleeds down to I don't call it a downline either, my family, my grapevine. That's where I got that from. I make it a grapevine. And your grapevine has to be strong. Okay? Yeah. We have a strong root, guys. We got Mike and whoever is with them. You know, I look at it this way. Where we're at, like Tanya said, we're leaders in the company. We know that because we started a long time ago. But how did we get there? Because what's above us, what's below us, what's right, and what's left. And that's something we can't forget. Because everything that we do with our people, and our people learn, we give knowledge to other people. And by giving the knowledge, what Tanya said before, what she would like for you and your family, by giving the knowledge and telling, not selling right away. Tell and not sell. And I know I said that a lot in Houston, but by telling, we're automatically going to sell. And automatically, we're going to get the rebound back. And that's how I look at it. I'm in this to help people. Yes, I have an office in Vegas. Yes, we do a lot. Now we're starting to do the events, like I told you. But why are we doing those events? All they are is informational. Okay? That's all it is. We don't sell anything at the event. It's all informational. But what are we doing? We're getting the word out. We're getting people to know. And how I
Absolutely.
do the events is me and Jeannie are at every event, but we take our family, our eye partners, and we take like 2 a week, and they come there and they learn. They learn how to do the events. They learn how to talk to people. They learn how to respond. They learn by doing that. That's how we do it. Every Tuesday night, like you guys, we have a Zoom. Before the Zoom, we have. I know you know. I know you guys know. You've seen it, Tanya. I know. But before the Zoom, we have a Must Cafe. We have a social. Then we have the Zoom. Then after the Zoom, we have a meeting where we discuss things.
Yeah.
This last Zoom, I was very proud of it because one of the people actually got up and started doing the benefits. Yeah, it took them a little while, but don't push anybody. Let them do it when they're ready. They said they were ready. Do the benefits. So they did benefits, and they did them very well. Did they make mistakes? Sure. Did anybody say anything? No, we laughed. We had fun because that's the whole thing. There's nobody there going like this to you, okay? From all the way up to all the way down. There's nobody doing this, but I see a lot of this. Okay?
I want to just make
Go right
also
ahead.
another online note that I put up on the side something, Joe. This is from 2011, but it's from a great organization. It's Molecular Vision. It's research. It's collaborations. There's some animal, but there's also some human studies that talk about cataracts and reversing oxidative damage of cataracts. And they even give a dosage that the Journal of Cataract and Refractive Surgery had used, which was 100 milligrams per kilogram of body weight of grapeseed. And that was a minimum dose to get beneficial effects. Now, one of the things I want to say about knowledge is that there's a lot of companies out there, and I used to have a Medi Spa, and I used to let various therapists who work for me carry some of their product lines and benefit that way. And there were so many companies that came in with so many claims and just outrageous claims, really. And of course, they didn't make them on their website, but somehow or another, their sales engine, their groups of people made them. And one of the things that I am so dedicated to as a leader in this organization is not to allow anybody to give a testimonial about this product unless I can find a scientific element that backs it up. And it's crazy. I have spent, I'm sure a couple thousand hours in the world of research. And one of the things we're going to do at our annual meeting is we're going to be giving USBs of tons and tons of links for everybody so that knowledge is truly at your fingertips. But this is cool. I did vision, right? Because we know that antioxidants, in particular, grapeseed, polyphenols, actually open up the arteries and the tiny arteries that go to the eye area. So if you have vision loss for diabetes, which I didn't have loss, but I had a lot of blurriness. So I, besides reading glasses, also at the end of days when my sugar was off, the world was not clear. I didn't like to drive. Now that is totally gone. And I started getting headaches and feeling dizzy and thinking, what am I doing? Because I take 6 a day too, Joe. I'm like, what am I doing? And then I realized that I was using 2 and I only need 1 now. There's nothing less than 1. So I'm really excited. But it's not magic. I call it, it's miraculous science. It's opening up blood flow to the brain and to the eyes. Very, very cool. ViVi, I know you're new to this business, and we're all new to this business. But what Joe and Jeannie have done is they've started a machine, right? For me, I'm still a little bit of an evangelist, right? I see people having a hard time get up at a restaurant. And I've learned that, okay, so ultimately I'm going to disclose that I actually have a company that sells this stuff. But my first impulse when a 45-year-old woman gets up from the table like she's 80 is to say, hey, I know what that feels like. And I was in that same situation. And Jeannie, I want to give it to people, and I don't need their address. I give them my phone number, because I don't want people to think that I'm going to chase them or I'm going to be a stalker. I'm going to be a multi network marketing stalker. So, and I give samples out and I give bottles out. And in the end, I probably have a return rate of about 50% of people who feel it, Talk to us a little bit. And especially ViVi may have some questions too. Guys that are listening and people that listen to this in the future, we usually don't talk about the muscadine business, but we've had a lot of people ask. And, I can produce, you just go ahead and shoot me a message, and I can produce probably at least 10 studies for any question and any value that you want me to do for you. All US-based studies, all with clinical trials. Because remember, I'm from a very, very conservative allopathic healthcare background. So I, to this day, will not lose that reputation as being knowledgeable about what works and what doesn't. And I can say with all the science, and to every hospital CEO that's ever hired me and every doctor that's ever believed in me, that all the science stands for this product, and this product is efficacious in at least 80% of the situations that I personally have overseen. Yes, there are people that feel nothing. That's all right. That's the same thing with chemotherapy or anything else that we use in healthcare that are quite dangerous. But for the most part, this is a natural prevention and management of chronic disease and pain, bar none. So having said that, we don't have to prove that. Viewers, you're going to come back next week. You'll hear about, I think we're going to talk about emotional health, antioxidants, and positivity. I'm going to pray that I can get Tammy on. But let's talk to these folks. ViVi, talk to them about their business, how they do it, how they develop it, and I'll let the screen get bigger.
No, first of all, congratulations on your anniversary. And also, I have to say, Joe and Jeannie, that when I heard you share your experience in the suite before the event in Houston, I got chills. I got chills from hearing you speak, because you share that with such conviction. And we're particularly excited to have you on today, because as you decided to start, this opportunity, and truly, really, I see you all embracing every single value from IQMK, and just really, really sharing that with others. And like you're saying, telling your story, having faith in people, and supporting, which is really the goal of all of us as we start our journey into leadership, into growing, the financial opportunity, but more than anything, into sharing how because we can be healthy, we can do so much. And I see you, like you're saying, I don't feel my age. And so tell us what are you currently doing? And I know that Mike shared a little bit about some of your successes and some of your planning. So just really tell us a little bit, what have you planned it? What are some of the specific events that you've done? And how do you plan for this growth?
Let me just say one thing before you start, because you're going to take longer. What I started doing immediately, ViVi, as soon as we got the samples in, we had the smaller flyers, and on the bottom, there's a nice little space there to put all of your information. Mm-hmm. I attach this flyer to every sample. Then I get, the little plastic gift bags. I have, right now I'm using one with purple stars on it. And I put each of these in one of those. And I have about a half a dozen in a purse I take out of my house every single day. And I keep 2 in my lunch bag when I go to work. So they're with me all the time, and I continually give them out, always, after speaking with people. And it's something I couldn't even tell you how many I go through. But I have so many more customers because of it.
Wow.
And now I'm going to let Joe go with the rest of how, and this is how I started doing it.
Now, when we got into it, I saw what it did for Jeannie. Then it started doing things for me. And then I had a good friend of mine turn around to me and said, "Hey, Joe, you're not limping anymore." And I didn't realize I've had a limp for many, many years. And when you saw me in Houston, I was limping. Okay. And I like to do that because that's a testimony. You saw me and I limped. I don't limp anymore. And
Wow.
he noticed that and I noticed it. And then he says, "Well, what's going on?" And boy, I started sharing and I told him. And then I said, "I like this. I'm going to keep sharing. And I want to do this." And then I came up with the no tell. And this was before Houston, the no sell, just tell. And I came up with that. And Mike said, "That's great. But let me tell you, you got to have support." And anything I ever needed, I went to Mike, I went to Juan, okay? And I got help, whatever I needed. But there's been times that Mike and Juan have come to me, or Jeannie, or Tanya, and asked for things. And Tanya even said that. You know, him calling up and saying, "How you doing? What's going on?" He wants to know. And that's the important thing, okay? It doesn't mean where you are, who you are. Like with us, to me, we're all eye partners. And Mike said something to me when I first met him, and I'll never forget it, and I'm going to keep saying it, is we all have our own company. You got to remember that. So we're all CEOs of our own company. And that's what we are. We're our own CEOs. And once you get people to understand that it's their business, and they got to have the compassion for this, and they got to believe in it. And like Tanya said, I really believe that people have to take this. I will give a sample pack out. I will. Okay. When we first started, we didn't have sample packs. We were giving away bottles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We were giving away bottles. And I didn't care. I didn't care because what I was going to do was make people better. Because by me helping you, you're going to return the favor. And that's how we got our eye partners. We went in not saying, "Oh, you want to make money? You want to make money?" No, we went in with the health issue and how the health is and what the compassion is, what it's done for us, what it's done for my buddy. I got a buddy that's got a 93-year-old father. It brought down his blood pressure where they're more conceivable. But one of the funny things is the after fact, and it is funny, and you've got to laugh about it. The guy turned around to his wife one day and said, "Hey, honey, this stuff is working real good. Feel my head." And he had fuzz. The guy's been bald for 40 years. And he had fuzz on the top of his head. I mean, and then I started realizing places where I was losing a little hair, I got hair. And my mustache is smoother. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. It's the funny things too. But what is that doing for the rest of your body? And this is what you got to get across to people. Everybody's equal in this company. And that's the way Mike set this up. And that's the way I follow through. A lot of Mike's background and a lot of Mike's concepts are the same thing that I've always had myself. Okay. I've got a lot of things in life and stuff. And this I have all my compassion to. I mean, I went down to 3 days a week on my regular job because they need me there. But I went down to 3 days a week because this is what I do. And one of the secrets, guys, I'm going to tell you, see the logo? Wear it. Get a hat. Do something. Because people look at you, "What's that?" You just opened up the conversation.
Yep.
I told my people that. What I do with my people, as soon as they join, when I get my first echelon, and now my second echelon is doing this, which I love, okay? When I get them, I give them their bag with everything in it to start their eye partnership. They get their muscadine. Sometimes I'll throw in a bag of coffee if they're coffee drinkers. I give them the IQM cup, and I give them a shirt or a hat, whichever they choose, with the logo. And I give them this. And a lot of people say to me, "Well, that costs you money." You know what? For me to make other people happy, what does it cost? What does it cost? Okay? They like when they told me, like I was telling Tanya, when I took 20 pills, 24 pills a day. I had somebody ask me when I was doing my testimony, well, what isn't that a lot of money? And I know Keno heard this, and I mention it because Keno actually said something to me about this on a Zoom. And I looked up at this person, and this is what my remark was. What is your eyesight? What is your health? What is your life worth? If you tell me it's not worth $100 a month, it's not worth $200 a month, then you ain't got much of a life. So come join my family and get a lifestyle. Come join us. Get a lifestyle. Get a lifestyle. Make a lifestyle. Come join my family. Because this is how I look at it. What is it worth? Okay? If I didn't do those things and I don't take care of my health, right? I wouldn't have met you guys, would I?
Yeah.
That's what it's like.
I remember
that's how I look at it. My compassion and Jeannie's compassion is real. But I have to actually say, my upline, Juan, everybody, Mike, their compassion's real. My family, or like we're supposed to say politically correct, downline. I'm going to use Tanya. Yeah, but my family, okay, their compassion. Okay. Right. Why am I on this podcast tonight? I'm going to tell you guys. You know why we're on this podcast tonight? Yes, you invited us, but it's your compassion and what we've been watching and what you do for people. That's why I'm here. That's why I thank you right away, guys. But that's how you build a business. Yes, we're doing these events, like I said before, but that's to push it out. That's to get my people out in the street. The Super Saturdays were great. And if people do Super Saturdays, they're fantastic. But you're pulling people in. I do 3 social media groups a week. I get up 6 o'clock in the morning to go do these 6:30 in the morning social media groups. And they're networking groups where I give out things and stuff, okay? 40, 60 people, whatever. But we do that. Then we do the Zooms. Then we do the events. Are we busy? Yeah. But are we having fun? Yes. Because we make it our lifestyle. It's not a job to me. I'm helping people. Like Tanya said, she worked all those years in what she did, okay? Okay? Same thing with you being a teacher. You enjoy it. When I was in, my background is nothing like this. Yeah, I had some EMT training and stuff. I know you guys know that, but I don't get into that. My background was nothing into this. I'm military and law enforcement. Was I a teacher? Yes, I was. Yeah, I was a teacher also. I was an instructor. I did a lot of stuff like that. Jeannie's background, you telling me background, you were in, management. And
I taught people how to run their businesses.
That's what she did.
I mean, yeah. And yeah, then I decided it's time to do it for us.
But the thing that I want to say is when you get up in the morning, okay, look in the mirror, see what you see in the mirror. And that's the kind of people you want to talk to that day. What you see in that mirror. Okay? Because you want the people that are going to be with you. You want the people that are going to have compassion. And I'm going to say something. I remember how I connected with somebody, and I hope they remember this. Yes, I was at the meetings in Houston. Yes, we sat at tables and talked. But there was a morning that we had breakfast, and we invited somebody to the table. Oh, you're both smiling. Okay? That's where we found out where you stood and how you were. Okay? That's where we really connected, was at that breakfast table. And
right.
You don't realize that. But it is. I've made more deals, and you can ask Jeannie, in Alaska, 40 below, in a parking lot.
He's the parking lot
I'm the parking lot king. And then what happens? I meet Juan in a parking lot.
So this deal was meant to be.
This was meant to be, okay? And what you have to do, okay, a good leader doesn't want followers. And I'm going to tell you this, okay? And this is from my military background and all that. Even before that, okay? A good leader doesn't want followers. He wants leaders.
Right.
He wants leaders. If I can't make it to a meeting, I know somebody's going to pick up and do it. Will they make mistakes? I don't care. I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Okay? But I don't care. As long as I don't build downline. That's why I hate that word. Like you, Tanya. I gotta go back to you because you're the first one I really heard say that, like I do. You call it community, I call it family. It's the same thing. Okay? But I don't look at it as a downline. Those are leaders, and they have to make leaders. And they have to make leaders. That's how we do these events. That's how we train. When we do these events, I'm not the boss. I'm not the boss. Yeah. Do I run it? Do I have to sign the contract for the thing? Because somebody has to do it. But we're all equal. And I even told the guys there for the events, if I can't be there, I will tell you who will be there if you have to go to somebody. Can't hear you. Can't hear you, Tanya.
But I just want to say, Joe, that I remember that morning breakfast and that true connection and your commitment and everything that I think you have described in the last minutes that you're sharing. It's really all about integrity. You have integrity with yourself and you have integrity to others. And I am just so honored to know you. You guys are a power couple. I love, your dynamic, how you support each other. And we need more of that. And I think what you're speaking about, and the reason why I'm here is because it's the humanics part, right? I think when you get into one opportunity, it really has to connect with you. I think people get into the gimmicks of the processes in the business. And it's scary. Like for me, it has been scary to do a learning curve. And I have all of these idiosyncrasies about how things have to be. And that's just my neurodivergence.
I know that about you, Vivi. I do know that about you.
But Vivi, I want to explain something to you. You said something there, and I'm not correcting you, okay? But you said you're honored, okay, to know us, okay? It goes back the same way. Respect is only given when respect is only given is when respect is received. Either way. And I have done so much training in my life, guys. I did personal training. I did physical training where, I don't tell a lot of people this, but we're talking. I was an interrogator. Okay. I was an interrogator in a lot of things I did. Now I have big names for them and all that. What do they call those guys? CSI.
The profilers.
Profilers. When I was we were just investigators. When I was in the military, we were investigators. That's what we were. But now they give them big name, give them big money.
Yeah.
And they call them profilers.
I want to just put it, because I spent a lot of time working with hospitals and other organizations talking about corporate culture. And we know that without a unified, identifiable corporate culture, things don't stay together. And Joe, you call it a family. You sound more like, one of the Sopranos, the Godfather than I do. So you can call it your family. I call it my community. And God knows what Vivi will call it, her body.
We also have the family table.
Familia, yeah. But
forget about it.
Exactly. What it comes down to, though, is this thing called corporate culture. And what we're expressing is I don't know anybody that I've met that's very active in the United States or in and now even in Ghana. I mean, these are extremely rare people that are driven by, and successful people that are driven by service, integrity, and respect. And that's like this dream come true. I can't tell you how many hospitals I consulted with where they said, we're compassionate and respectful. And I just couldn't find any day-to-day evidence of those things. Right. So I'm just very proud that that while we're all trying to build a business that sustains profitability, that we can have a nonprofit foundation, all of those big dreams, we put first and foremost in the people that we attract, the people we develop, that we put time into, those people that have integrity, compassion, service, and respect at their core. So yes, and I know we're coming down to the end here, so I have to thank you guys, the Tassos, 28 years of marriage, and
48,
45.
45,
what?
45 years.
45.
Wow.
We'll be married
Okay,
45
totally
years
screwed
Sunday.
that up. 45 years. Now I think you're certifiably insane. I was
Thank you.
I will.
Thank
I
you.
will tell you, ladies, that we have hit the half-century mark in being together.
Together. We're together 50 years. But
that's just
we're just,
amazing.
just
yeah.
remember,
And I think
marriage is an
loyalty.
institution, guys.
Loyalty
Marriage
is a
is an
cultural trait
institution.
too. Yeah. So thank you guys. Go enjoy. Take some extra muscadine and see how that blood flows. Love you both. Talk to you
Thank
soon.
you, guys. We
Thanks,
love you guys,
guys.
and we think you guys are fantastic. Keep up with these podcasts. If you need anything, please do it. And everybody that's on the line, don't forget about Florida. We got to do Florida. Florida is going to be great.
Absolutely.
It's going to be
Let me pull that
inspirational.
up. Let me pull that. Let me pull
All
that
right.
up.
Good night.
I know if I'm there and I'm sitting at a table, I'm not going to be quiet. So no matter what, I'm going to be speaking.
We'll put you at the quiet table so you can clear it up. Bye.
No
Thank
shutting
you.
him down.
Bye, guys.
Bye. All right. We have a few minutes. My gosh, ViVi, aren't they wonderful?
I love Joe and Jeanne, and it's just amazing. And going into new things, these are, amazing people that an opportunity came to them and they did it. And we really wish that I had that fearlessness. I thought I was fearless, but I'm not. I still got to work at it. And one thing that I just wanted to add so quickly is that as you talked about corporate culture, it's such an important piece of the DEI movement, right? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. And everyone, that integrity and just that culture is definitely going to, be a big value for anyone that decides to take this opportunity. Folks are leaving corporate organizations because they don't have that culture. And, the opportunity to do something new is also just an amazing piece of that.
Yeah. And I think that's really a reality that you're going to, for all of us that want to grow and, IQMK Global will grow. If you look at the Filipino offering of products, it's diverse and exciting. And I know we will get there too. Always keeping in mind that our premium power, not product, it's a power, is the healing and preventive health properties of muscadine. But I just want to turn everyone's attention, please, 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 to the slide that we put up here. We are actually starting to get real traction, and we have people that are not IQMK people registered, and we don't have our leadership fully registered. So this is an exciting time for us. January 13th through 15th, I call myself the curator of the meeting. I think I'm more the masochist because it is a lot of work to make it. And I've done this all my life, but this one to me is even more powerful because of the core principle of becoming healthier first and then becoming wealthier second. I'm doing a Zoom on Saturday for some people that are already iPartners, but they really want to understand the business. And I'm just calling it, being healthier is wealth. You got to start there. So our meeting is going to start there. It is a 3-day meeting. Thursday night, I'm so excited to announce we have an amazing guest. She's an international designer. She speaks for the UN. Her name is Chidza. She has a company called Aphrodisiac Worldwide. She speaks about empowerment, about microaggression, oppression, inequities, and rising above all of that to find your personal style, your health, your youthfulness at any age. And she will be there Thursday night. So we're going to have a reception, first of all, an amazing meet and greet of of our global family. We will then go into a presentation by Chidza, and then an after party with a DJ, really celebrating some of our countries that are new to us, that are all either Afro-Caribbean or African. So it'll be Afrobeat. We'll throw some Cuban salsa in there for Lynette to give us a couple of lessons. It will be a blast, right? Don't worry, Vivi, we've got an amazing Mexican lunch planned, But the next day is the big day, guys. So this is, you want to get online. You want to get to IQMKevents.com and get registered. In the morning, we have an amazing scientific forum with qualified, amazing PhD researchers, just really good faculty that will teach us about functional nutrition and how our product and how muscadine grapeseed and skins really is a scientific formulation to change our health. And so that will be there, and you'll get a little certificate that you did 4 hours of science and are a product expert. And then we will have, yeah, it is awesome. We're going to have a Viva la Mexico lunch and a special presentation about Mexico and our growth and things there. And then our afternoon is powerful. Our afternoon is about what Jeannie does, is helping us all get to be real good entrepreneurs. I'm not a great entrepreneur by any stretch of the imagination. I've got the passion, but I don't have the discipline to work alone like this. So we're going to talk and hear from people, from Charles to Lynette to Vivi on discipline. I'm going to give some perspective on MLMs and how to be passionate about it. So it really is going to be an afternoon of business growth experience. Oh yeah, we're going to have an accountant. We're going to talk about how to set up your business, how to save on taxes. It's jam-packed and it's pretty smart, pretty brilliant. We have some door prizes. We have a little bit of a break, and then we go right into our Stars Come Out at Night gala. It will be a beautiful dinner. It will be dancing. It'll be Kino, Big Mountain, a DJ, a really lovely, lovely evening. The next day is, you'll begin to see this being advertised separately as Finding Your North Star. It is 4 hours of finding your passion and understanding how to plan for it. Passions and dreams are nothing but smoke and mirrors without a plan. And so we have people who talk about cosmic levels of passion, from Professor Bayina Bello to Georgianne Goldblum, who is a CEO coach with one of the world's finest organizations called Vistage, to Mike and Kino. We're really going to talk about how do we put this all together? How do we transform our life so that we have something that we're proud of and a legacy that we can say we built with integrity, mindset, knowledge, and quality. So we're way over time, and I'm so proud that we had such a great show. Vivi, take us out. And don't forget, guys, please register. I go every Thursday morning and ask Mike, did anybody register? So please be one person that does it for us. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Tanya, for that run through. And look at our website as well. Please share this podcast. And let's see you in Orlando. And we thank all of our global community. Agnes is always supporting. And, we're building a new network of this amazing familia community, leadership. And have a great weekend. Thank you for those extra minutes. And we'll see you again next week. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Eat your MusNatural muscadine grapeseed.